This is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 16 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Today I want to make a Starbuncle real quick. So I think I just need 4 gold and some Starbuncle shards, which should be cool. Excellent. Cool. And then I'm going to plop him in here, because he's going to help out my Drigmies. So I think what I need to do is get a Dominion Wand. Storing items at 0 locations, taking items from 0. If I click him, Starbuncle will store items here. Perfect. Then I can give him a bed, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That bed. Awesome. Hey, little guy. So the Starbuncle is cool. What he does, let's see, if my magnet's off, that'll be cool. Any items that drop on the ground, specifically like eggs from a chicken, he should easily, basically see that they're there. Oh, look at that! I think they're treating. That's cool. Hey, no. Starbuncle, go get it. Thank you. Look, and he stores it in his little pouch, which is cool. And then he drops it in there. Huh? That's neat, right? And then he's just going to chill on his bed. Love the Starbuncle. So Starbuncles are cool. They can be used for item transport. So you can transport items between chests. You can filter items. You can choose how they pass by using specific blocks. And you can set a bed for them. So very, very useful little item transfer and automation dudes. Might consider something in this realm, or maybe this one, with the Starbuncle, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how I can automate this a little better. My problem is that I'm pretty sure I'm wasting fuel with the current setup. What happens is the fuel goes in and it gets burned, and there must be a limit to how much this can hold. And I really want to math this out and see how it works before I can figure out a solution for it. One solution might be to use integrated dynamics to read the value of whatever is in the volcanic source link in terms of a buffer and prevent new items from going through the hopper when there's anything in the buffer. Another solution might be, if we wanted to go a little bit lower tech, we could have a timer triggering this. So that... No, that's not really going to work either. Well, we would want it to basically only drop an item as frequently as it takes for the volcanic source link to burn the item entirely. So whatever period of time it is for the volcanic source link to completely consume another Gobbergoo would be the delay in the timer, so that it'll only drop an item, say, every 10 seconds. The problem with that is that only then works for another Gobbergoo. If we got the next tier, which would be end Gobbergoo, then we have to change our timer value, which obviously isn't the end of the world, but, you know, not ideal. But I think I've been checking to see if, like, the redstone comparator works. It doesn't, unfortunately. It doesn't emit a value when it's currently running, but let's see. We'll do this, right? So that is shooting. I think it's supposed to shoot 3 of them, or 5 of them, right? And one more. And then that's it. So that was 20 seconds, I want to say. So is it every 4 seconds that I can fire a shot? Yeah, so 20 seconds, roughly speaking, for it to drop the thing. So what we would want to do is set it up so that an item doesn't go in here any faster than once every 20 seconds. And then the redstone dust here will reset that timer, and then we would be cool. Right? So I think what we could use maybe would be, let's use one of my favorites, the sequencer, because this gives you such fine-grained control over your redstone timers. Like, the sequencer is really quite awesome if you think about it. So what this does is it allows you to cause redstone signals to occur on a sequence, and you get 64 slot blocks, so 8 by 8, And you can control each individual delay and sequence length. So by default, the sequence length is 64, which is what you would want. And the delay is 1, which means each one of these blocks represents 1 tick. So for example, if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what this would do is in a 64 tick sequence, which is about a little bit more than 3 seconds, for 8 ticks, which is about half a second, the redstone signal will be on, and then the next 56 ticks it will be off. So if we do that, and then here is when a redstone signal is received, loop the cycle once. When a redstone signal is received, loop the cycle once, restart if a new pulse arrives, loop the cycle all the time. Let's put it on that just so we can see what it looks like, right? So there we go. So you can see the steps on the top on the visual there. So basically the first 8 ticks, it's on, and then the next sequence, it's off. Now you can also change your sequence length. So for example, if I made sequence length 16, what it would do is it would be on for 8 ticks, off for 8 ticks, and then it would start back over. So just looping over and over again. You can also change your delay. So you can make each one of these be longer. So for example, if I made it 2, what it would be is it would be on for 16 ticks, off for 16 ticks. See? Or if I made it 4, for example, it would be on for 32 ticks, which would be about a second and a half, and then off for 32 ticks. So this gives you extremely fine-grained control over how long things go. So what we can do is use this to very specifically determine how long things should run. So let's try that out, right? What I'm going to do is quite simply, we will have you facing this way. And what I'm going to do is loop the cycle all the time, restart on redstone pulse, loop the cycle when it's present, when it's present, when it's received, loop it once, when it's received, restart if new pulse arrives, loop the cycle when redstone signal is present, restart on no signal. So that's probably what I want to do, but we might need to make this a little bit more compact. Or less compact, I should say, because we're going to need a little bit more redstone-y room. So let's move this guy to here. Let's move this guy to here. And then, is it this to that? Taking from one location. Cool. So then he should fill up all these jars. And then we can give this guy a little bit more room to work with. So what we would need, we're going to need a redstone torch or so. Oh good, we have some actually in here. I probably didn't have to come home. That's okay. My exercise for the day, I'm getting my steps in. Right, so if you're going to run, loop the cycle when redstone is present, restart on no signal, right? Loop the cycle when redstone is present. So what I will probably want is this. Right, so he's not running until he gets a redstone signal. And when he does, he'll be allowed to run. Okay. So then what we're going to make it is, we said it took 20 seconds for this thing to work, right? Now, what's the frequency of drop, or how frequently does a hopper drop an item? That's a good question. All right, so a hopper can transfer an item every 8 ticks, right? So if we set our delay to 7 ticks, okay, and we want to wait 20 seconds, that would be 20 seconds times 20 ticks in a second is 400 ticks. Divided by 7 per spot here gets us 57.1. So if I made this 58, right? So that's 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 57, 58, and then the 59th one is off for 7 ticks, and then it goes back on. What'll happen is it'll wait 20 seconds, a little bit more, and then be off for 7 ticks, which is enough to let one item in, and then turn back on for the remaining time. And then if the signal hasn't activated by then, oh look, you're out of power. Cool. So that's a good example. Sweet. Then we should be good, right? And that should be happening now, actually. Hey, look, it did it. Sweet. So it's going to run every 20 seconds. So yeah, he is filling up, right? So that's, I put coal in there to demonstrate this, right? So it just so happened that the timing worked out. I think the Drigmees must have needed more source. So look, it's going to take 20 seconds for it to fill up. And then when it gets to step 57 there, boom, it's going to drop the item, and only one item, and no more than one item until the next cycle. And then once you fill up, then we should be cool, right? So now I'm going to replace you with nether gobber foo stuff and see if that works, right? So on the next cycle, when it hits step 58, it'll turn off its redstone signal, allowing one item to drop in, and only one item. And then you're going to run 1, 2... Is that the second? Oh, look, yeah, no. So now he's off because he's got enough juice in him, right? That's pretty cool, actually. I'm pleased with that. That should work. If my 20-second timing is correct, that should work. Now, the challenge will be when we get the next kind of power, because that's going to last longer, I assume. Well, we might have to deal with that when the time comes, right? Did that take longer than 20 seconds, or is it me? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's a little bit tricky to tell. I'm not 100% sure. I think we just have to wait for the next batch, or what we could do is manually do it. Let's manually do it. So he's at 39% right now, right? So if I took this off and let one go in there. So remember, it's going to be 20 seconds before it lets an item in. But that's okay. We don't need things to be, exactly to the tick here. Well, we do. We don't need things to be immediate, right? We got a big buffer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that works actually. That's just close enough. What I could do is I could make it a little bit longer here. We can make it like this one. Just have a slightly longer delay. And that should be okay. Because it means it won't put the item in immediately when it's available. It'll give it like, another second or two. Because it looked like it took a little while for it to consume and burn its first, blast there. So that's what I'll do. I'll just make this one be the disabled one. And then we should be fine, I would think. Yeah, that should be cool. Okay, that works for me. I think that's pretty slick. Sweet. All right, so a little bit of redstoniness today. I like that. All right, let's get a containment area ready to go here. I'm curious of something. I want to try this. If I light you up and activate you, so you're running, so that won't affect the stuff in there, right? Good. Now, let's say I got my staff of ensnarement. Can I ensnare an enderman? That would be cool. I see an enderman over here. Can I get him, you think? Near you. Aha! I have an enderman. Do you think I can ensnare an enderman? I don't see why not, right? It doesn't say passive mobs only. This would be a nice source of ender pearls, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You might be wondering why I did this in this room. You'll find out. Aha! Excellent. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. There we go. Now we're cooking. So now they've got another thing to be friendly about. Now, I should be able to throw a source jar, boop, right there, and he'll recharge the tablet, which is now running. And now I can go get another mob. That should be cool. All right. Should I get a sheep? Sheep sounds good. Sheep sounds like a good time. And I think there is one up here. I think there's sheep up here. Yep, there they are. Cool. So now I don't have to keep making new tablets of containment. I can just, capture a dude with my capturing thing. And I'm calling Gobber a magic mod because it's pretty magical. right? So left click to pick them up, teleport home. And then we can pop in here. We deposit Mr. Sheep. Don't forget to have a jar of containment nearby. And there you go. And remember, it said the more varied the mobs are, the better or the more drops we'll get. The Driggies get happier. I don't know if there's a way to like visually tell what their happiness level is, but you know. Oh, look at you! You're generating experience gems now. Right, yeah, that's cool. Okay, and look, you keep running because you got more source there. That works for me. That is really cool. Okay. I might want a cow in there for leather and beef would be neat. And maybe a few more things. So let me think about what other mobs I might want to store in there. And then we'll be back in a sec. All right, so now I want to try a little bit of automation with some things. And I'm going to start with just kind of playing with this a little bit and seeing what I can come up with. And then I want to go from there to, well, can we automate and fully make a cobbleworks using Ars Nouveau, spells, and spell turrets? Maybe. We're going to find out together. It's going to be a thing. So real quick primer on spell turrets, because I've been looking this up and considering how I can do this. If we look into the automation, basic spell turrets can do touch and projectile spells. What you have to do is you have to get a spell parchment in order to cast the spells and give it to the turret, and it'll draw a source from nearby jars. They may use item pickup and place block as long as an inventory is placed adjacent to the block. Cool. Okay. Enchanted spell turrets can cost spells at half the source cost compared to basic spell turrets, which is made like this. And then timer spell turrets will automatically fire on a timer, defaulted to 1 second. The time may be increased by right-clicking and decreased by punching. Sneaking for 10-second intervals. To prevent further changes, lock it with a Dominion Wand. Setting it to 0 or providing a redstone signal will disable it. Casting projectile, touch, and redstone for free. So does that mean, like, the timer spell turret is completely free? Maybe? I guess? Projectile, touch, and redstone for free. I guess we'll find out. That's what I'm curious about. So these can be used for compact and efficient automation. You can set them up for tree farms, smelting with fortune, all kinds of stuff. So let's try it out. So first off, I'm gonna have to learn a few things, right? First off, I gotta learn. I gotta make a few things. So like, let's get item pickup here. So that should be, I can search, right? Item pickup. Select. And drop a couple hoppers here, and that'll make that happen. Cool. The other thing we need to do is I should grab a couple chests. 2 actually would be pretty perfect. That ain't bad. And for the time being, I'm going to store this stuff in here. You can go there, and I need this, this, and this. And a few source gems. Okay. 1. I only need 1 of these, but I figured if I'm making them, I might as well make a few. Can't hurt, right? Make a few extra. Excellent. You go away, and then let's remove you guys. Put you in there, and then these 3. With essence. Cool. Again, only need 1 of these, but figured I'd make 4, because why not? And at some point, I'll fully automate making all the essences, so that they're always all available to me. But for now, I want to kind of play with this. Yeah, I'm curious how efficiently I can do a cobbleworks with just Ars Nouveau. Could be a fun challenge, right? Okay. So I know I'm going to need one of these, and I'm going to need one of these, and that should be cool. Okay, so the next spell that I want to learn... I thought I already grabbed item pickup here. Unlocked item pickup. Okay, I thought that already happened. Item pickup done. Smelt is fire essence, 4 furnaces, and a blaze rod. Oh. So smelt, fire essence, 4 furnaces, and I knew I had blaze rods down here, so I didn't bring one. Cool. And then finally, crush is earth essence, piston, and grindstone. There we go. Crush. Piston, earth essence, grindstone. Nice. So now we've got crush. So let's demonstrate this with a bit of cobble, because I kind of want to understand how things work here. So if I made a spell, let's call it here we go. 4. I would like it to be a touch spell, and I would like it to be crush. Create. So that should turn this cobble into gravel, if I'm not mistaken. Haha. And if we do it again, sand. And if we do it again, nothing. Okay. Now, here's the follow-up question. What if I do touch and crush twice? Will that go gravel directly to sand? It does. Oh my. That's cool. Now, if we do touch, crush, crush, smelt, that goes directly to glass. Ah, okay, cool. Now, let's try this. What I'm going to want is... So I'm assuming if I do break after that, it's going to be a problem because we don't have silk touch. But isn't there a modifier we can do for break that will make it okay? Can be amplified to increase the harvest level. Sensitive will simulate breaking block with shears instead of a pickaxe. That's not what we want. Silk. Is there something silk touchy? We can do that. It would have to be a modifier, right? So, dampen? No. Fortune is there. Pierce. Extract. Applies a silk touch effect to break and causes explosions to not drop block. Cannot be combined with fortune. So scribe's table, just an emerald. Emerald, please. Okay. So then if we place this here, what was the name of that spell? Extract. Do. Okay. So do I put it after break? I guess we'll find out. Ha ha! That's cool. That's cool. That is neato burrito. I love it. That is super neat. How cool is that? Okay. Okay. I'm down with this plan. Now, here's a question. It said something in the turret book, which was interesting, I thought. Automation, basic spell turret automation. Rapid smelting with fortune. What does that mean? That's a good question, right? We did fortune, right? We did amplify. Smelt cannot be augmented by fortune. Okay. Interesting that would say rapid smelting with fortune. What's interesting is crush can be? What do you think crush would do with fortune? Doesn't seem like much, right? Okay. But anyway, so we can do crush, crush, smelt, and then break with extract, and then item pickup. And if I'm not mistaken, that will place it directly in my inventory. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Look, right into the inventory. That is really, really cool. How cool is that? Is that cool? I think that's super cool. All right, now what we want to do is get a piece of parchment paper on here. And if we shift right click the book with the spell selected, see it's crush, boom, set spell. And now we look at this parchment paper, which by the way, you make like this. I made a couple of them. You can see what's on it. Touch, crush times 2, smelt, break, extract item, item pickup. Cool. And then we should be able to have this with a spell turret. Boom. And we place cobblestone there. And then we give you a redstone signal. If I had anything that was redstone signally, a stone should do. I'm sure we have stone in here somewhere. He may need to have a source jar nearby. Luckily, I think I do. All right, I have to give him the spell parchment. There we go. Cool. And now let's try him without a source jar nearby. He might draw from those. We'll see. He did. He did draw from those. Okay, cool. He didn't work, though. He might be facing the wrong direction. Can I rotate you? I don't think so. It's okay. We'll get it working. We'll figure it out. So I think it's like that. Haha. Haha. How cool is that? All right. Okay. Sweet. Nice. Okay. I wonder if I can get the spell turret to place the cobble for me. How could I say place cobble? Because I know there's a place block, right? Places blocks from the caster's inventory. If a player is casting this, a spell will place blocks from the hotbar first. I wonder if I can use like a filter on it. Hang on. There's item scroll. Provides a list of items to automation-related entities. To inscribe an item, place on the scribe's table and use blocks and items on the table while sneaking. When given to a Starbuncle, they will only pick up this item. I wonder if this will work for the turret. Because I don't want him to place the glass. I want him to place the cobble. Right? So if we got an item scroll of allow, I need to just combine it with a chest. Let me bring some more of these, because I probably want a few more item scrolls. So what we're doing right now is proof of concept-y, and then we'll probably work separately on other stuff. But we would want to do this, and then you combine with a chest. No, that's spell parchment. What I want to do... There we go. Is I want blank parchment. And then you can become the item scroll of allow. Okay. So place on the scribe's table and use blocks and items on the table while sneaking. So I would do this, I would do that, and then I would do that. And this should now have cobblestone on it. Now, can I apply you to this somehow? I don't know. So my concern is, so what I want to do is modify this spell to first have Can I even do that? Can I combine them? Or you know what do I want a separate block to place it? That might be the thing. We might want a separate block to place it. Well, let me try first and see what I can do. So I would want to do touch. Do I have place block? I may not have place block already. Let's get that learned. That was a tier 1 glyph, right? Place block. Needs manipulation essence and a dispenser. I think I got a few of them from before when I was doing containment. And a dispenser. Me. How am I for EXP? I could probably take a few. Pretty sure since it's a tier 1 glyph, it only needs 1 level of experience, but whatever. Place block. You and you. Perfect. Okay. So now, can I make a spell that does that? So tier 5, we'll just call it the test spell. So, touch, place block, and then crush, crush, smelt, break, extract, item pickup. And we would want it to be on our hotbar. It is the priority. So we do this, we do that, and then if I do that, interestingly, it made the glass breaking sound. Oh my goodness. Not enough mana. It's doing something. That's cobbled deep slate. I want regular deep slate. I feel like it's breaking place block. I feel like it's breaking the... It's placing a block, and then I see what it's doing. So the block I click on, it places a block, but then it continues to operate on the block that I clicked on. So what it's doing is it's placing a block there, and then it's crushing, smelting, and breaking the block that I clicked on, which is the block that was there. Cool. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Okay. Got it. I probably have to use a building gadget. There's probably a sneaky way to do this, but I don't know what it is. But that's cool. That's cool. All right. So that makes sense. And I don't think I can have a second sequence. I don't think. So I'm just going to try one more thing here. If I threw a delay in there, so it'll place block, then delay, then crush. Let's see what that does. Nope, still no good. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I get what it's doing and how it works. Okay. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit between episodes and see if I can't figure out a way to get one spell to do both the placing and the breaking. But if I can't, then here's the solution. I put another spell turret here with another chest here, and that chest will contain cobblestone. And then this turret will place the cobble, and this turret will turn it into glass. And then we might have another turret that turns it into sand, and another turret that turns it into gravel, right? So that'll do gravel, sand, and glass. And that would be a pretty sufficient cobbleworks, right? Now, just out of curiosity, we said sand couldn't be crushed again, right? Yeah, no, we tested that already. Because sometimes silicon can be made with foregoing. Yeah, with the material stonework factory with breaking 3 times. But I gotta imagine that's like specific to industrial foregoing. I would think. Yeah. I would think. Also, yeah, no, that seems reasonable. So I think that's the play, right? We do that. And the chest for that could be behind it. If we put the chests behind all of them, then they wouldn't overlap with each other, and that would be another cool solution that I like. Okay, so I'm going to make more spell turrets. I'm going to play with it a little bit just to make sure I'm understanding how everything works. But if I make more spell turrets, and then the other thing I wanted to test real quick, since before we wrap up, I wanted to test this. If I got a clock and we made that, does this make it, like, not cost mana at all? Because if that's the case, then we're in super cool shape. Right? Now this will keep running until there's a redstone signal, which means I should probably grab a lever. Okay, but the question is will you require mana to run? So you face that way, okay. And then I give you the spell. So he is drawing mana in, so it is not free. Did it say something about free? I thought it said free. Automation, spell turret. Cast projectile, touch, and redstone for free. I guess the other glyphs aren't free then. All right, so that's fair. So for now, let's wrap up. So Darryl20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time and get ready to make a cobbleworks with Ars Nouveau. I think that could be fun. All right, for now, take it easy.